So, good morning, friends. Good morning, every one of you who has been so wonderful, who has always paid attention to some of these engagements I've been pushing lately. I'm so grateful for every one of you that have brought out your time to listen to the thoughts I keep sharing in some of these videos I've been sharing on my YouTube channel. And I want to say that I'm very, very grateful and I don't take them for granted. I understand that this is something that has to do with your data, it has to do with your time, and it has to do with your attention. We live in a 21st century world where, excuse me, where attention span of people is now very short. So when someone brings out something as much as 5 minutes, 8 minutes of his or her time to listen to what one has to say here, I know that's a very big privilege. So I don't take for granted all you guys are putting in to share your thoughts with me. So please, I would want you to kindly put in your thoughts into writing in the comment box on these videos when I share them. I would want to learn from you. The goal for me is for us to have a southeastern regional economy that thrives, an economy where we can do our own thing as a people and prosper on the merits of the skills our people have. In fact, on the merits of our human capital that we have in the Southeast, which is very, very abundant. So I want to take out this time to say that I'm a bit excited about what is happening in the Southeast. Excuse me. The governor of Enugu State, by every indication to me, is doing a few things that I'm quite grateful for. I know that is the job he came for. He asked the Enugu people to give him the privilege to serve them at that capacity, and what he owes in the Enugu is service. So Otamonyemde now, I'm very, very grateful that he is really doing so much to make sure that what he promised the people is what he's doing. And if other Southeastern governors, for example, I think also that our governor in Abia State is also a bit deliberate about what he wants to do, in as much as I have my reservations also with the operations of the governor, in the sense that he came in making everything that the former governor had done to look so poor in quality that he cannot engage with them. I think that is wrong. But apart from that, I think that Dr. Alex Oti is a bit intentional about what he wants to do with Abia State. I feel also he's a man who is conscious of history. So if he's a man who is conscious of history, I'm sure he would have to do what he has to do to make sure that he transforms Abia State in terms of infrastructure, in terms of quality of healthcare delivery, in terms of commerce, in terms of security, in terms of education, and in terms of attracting investors into Abia State. The truth is that we are in dire need of leaders in Southeast. I've also looked at Anambra State. Professor Charles Soludo is the governor of the state, and we all know that he has his own style of governance, right? I know that some of us are still very, very pissed, with what happened during the election, his positioning and the rest of them. Personally, I had my own grievance also towards him, about why he did what he did. But then, this is politics. He has his own political interest, which for some reasons I don't think overlaps with the political interest of Mr. P2B. And you cannot force him to get in the space, to have an overlapping of political interest with Mr. P2B, owing to the fact that they might have had their differences in the past, and he might be wishing to toe the line of this one he told during the election to give him a better footing, to be able to do what he feels he will have to do for the Anambra. So I feel that the elections are over, and it is also good that we draw the lines, I think we should be appraising Governor Charles Soludo on the basis of what he promised in the Anambra to do and what he is doing at the time. So I feel also strongly that he is getting some things right. I feel he's walking the talk, yes. But now, I also have my reservations. Why that level of engagement has not gotten across to Nnewi is what I really don't understand, because Nnewi is one of the big big cities in Anambra State that is generating massive revenue for the state. So when I look at the infrastructure in Nnewi and look at the volume of funds and revenue that come from the same city to the state, I can say most convincingly that the governor, although he's trying, has not really shown Nnewi people that indeed he's grateful for these resources coming in from here. I understand the political implications also, that no matter whatever anybody comes here to do, and Nnewi people will always tilt towards their brother capital oil and gas. But then I feel that the governor, despite the last one he came to commission around around Bank Road and the one heading towards Teaching Hospital, these are the two roads I know of that he's doing in Nnewi, and I feel he can do more with respect to the billionaires who are all littered around this city, that he can synergize with them, give them a sense of belonging and not selling off the state to them anyways, and then get them to support in transforming this community. You are the leader, so it doesn't matter how anybody looks or what anybody thinks. What matters is that at the end of the day, you use the resources in the town, you use the people around to get the results you want for the people. So I feel that Governor Soludo is doing well. I'm looking at what he's doing at the Kulobe axis. I'm looking at what he's doing around the Oka axis. I'm looking at what he's doing around the Onitsha axis. The truth is that the governor met a dearth of infrastructure in the state. That's just the truth. So we can't even pretend about it. So I know it will take him a lot, to get this state fixed up. But then I feel he's doing that intentionally. And also kudos to you, Mr. Governor, for what you are doing towards healthcare delivery for our pregnant women and their childbirth procedures. That is very, very commendable. The optics are nice, and I feel that there should be deliberate follow-up on the documentation and the number of people who are able to get access to these facilities and get staff, that at the end of the day, so when you're having this conversation, you can say in facts and figures that this was what you were able to do with Anambra State Health Sector through Dr. Obidike, who is your Commissioner of Health. So I feel that Anambra is on track. Then Ebonyi State, I really don't have much information about what is happening in Ebonyi, although I follow them very closely. I have very vested interest in Ebonyi State, and I would want to learn more to know what Governor Samson is doing in Ebonyi State. I want Ebonyi to thrive. I want Ebonyi to harvest its rich agricultural potential so that we can feed the world from there. I want Abia State to prosper. Imo State, unfortunately, the optics are quite bad. When I look at the whole killings, the whole political abracadabra that goes on in the state just for some people to be in power, it makes my heart bleed. Now, a very funny judgment has been rendered about an election that involved the Kenge Imo Ugochinyere. Is also dragging the state backward. But I think that Imo has a lot it takes, to thrive. It has a lot it takes, it has so much that it takes to be a superpower in the Southeast. I feel that the Southeastern political leaders should come together, irrespective of their political leanings, and pursue a regional agenda. I don't believe in this secession Biafra thing. I don't for one believe in it. I believe that if we can organize ourselves very well and make the Southeast to be very, very functional in terms of education, in terms of road infrastructure, in terms of rail infrastructure, in terms of power, in terms of commerce, just like the governor of Enugu signed into law the power, electricity bill and the rest of them the other day in Enugu. Just like he brought in the British government, I mean the UK or whichever of them, to have an embassy in Enugu. These are the conversations we should be having. These are things we should do with the aim of making the Southeastern region a region that works. Now, dear citizen, I want to plead with you. Don't think that this doesn't concern you. The political office holders owe us in every way. Hold every one of them accountable. Every political appointee you know, everyone, even the ones that have been appointed by the state, by the federal government to serve any southeastern institution, hold these people accountable. Ask them questions about what they've used such offices to do in their own interest, in my own interest, and the interest of the region. We can no longer continue to watch these men reap us very, very terribly, and at the end of the day, they will now switch emotions and then make you feel that it's the northern man or the man from the west that is holding you from progressing. The reason why our region is not developed is because of our fellow Igbo people who have been given access to these places of trust, who have continued to abuse these privileges. So we can't continue this way. We need to let them know that this is the time for them to stand up, serve us to the best of their ability, that we get a southeastern region that works for everybody. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you so much for your time to watch this video. I want to hear your thoughts. Personally, I don't believe in secession. I believe that we can do so well as a region, and together the southeastern region will be a region, that people will be glad to associate themselves with. We can show the world what it means to thrive on our own. Enough of these whole emotions and the rest of them. We can work as a region.